discourage your pests. There are a number of ways to do that. One, people will plant flowering plants to bring in the beneficial insects around their fruit or vegetable gardens, and that's one way you can bring in good insects. You can also purchase insects, and you can purchase things like lady beetles. There's a lot of other natural enemies that you can purchase, little parasitic wasps or predaceous mites that will eat certain other pests and insects, and those are commercially and readily available. We're at the Division of Agricultural Experiment Station in a research plot. On this plant is a common garden pest, aphids. Aphids are known as plant lice also, and if you're a gardener, you know about them. They occur on the bottom sides of leaves and up in the terminal, and sometimes even on your fruit. Most of the damage they cause is by direct feeding, where they reduce the vigor of that plant. They also transmit a lot of diseases to your plant. Aphids are controlled in a variety of ways without insecticides, often without you knowing it. Natural enemies, which is a name we use for beneficial insects, predators, and parasites that attack these aphids and keep their numbers lower. One of the most common are lady beetles. With lady beetles, there's different kinds of lady beetles. The big red one we're most common with, but there's also little tiny black ones that are lady beetles also. All lady beetles have the same biology though. They start with eggs. Eggs are laid on the plant tissue. The common big red ones are a bright lemon yellow egg that are laid on end. They're kind of oblong in a group. And you'll commonly see those if you have aphids around. Then the eggs hatch into small larvae that look like small alligators. So for example, here we have a larval lady beetle that is up on top of this plant, and it's just like this one here. And these are these lady beetle larvae are almost full grown and will soon become inactive and turn into what we call a pupa, a pupal stage. And it's a resting stage where they become ready to become an adult. So here's a pupa of a lady beetle larva. You can see these in your home garden when you've had a lot of aphids, and these are a good thing, not a bad thing. So leave them alone, and fairly soon they will turn into an adult. And the adult is the lady beetle that most people know and is real common. This one here is called the multicolored Asian lady beetle. And it's considered a pest as well as a beneficial. It's a pest when it invades your home in the spring and the fall, but it's also a beneficial both as an adult and a larva, feeding on these aphids. Insects are diverse, and they range the whole gamut from very damaging to you and I to also very beneficial to you and I. And the great majority of insects are really neither. They fall in that middle ground. But the insects also are a critical component in the whole ecosystem. So other animals live on insects. The plants need the insects. Pollinators come to mind to live. That it's a whole universe that they live in.
Just take a look at this drift of Russian sage, one of my favorite plants because it's a perennial and so easy to grow, but it has an added benefit. It is a plant that I use to help support the pollinators here at the farm, specifically bees, honeybees, bumblebees, you name it, because they're so important to our food system. But bees have been on the decline lately, so I think we should all be looking at ways to bolster our pollinator population. To get some ideas on how to do this, Richard Underhill gives us the scoop.
I'm Richard Underhill. I'm the president of the Arkansas Beekeepers Association. I'm an EAS certified master beekeeper. Alan invited me to his home at Moss Mountain in Arkansas. It's a beautiful site to see the gardens and their connection to the bees and the native pollinators. We have the honeybee as our major pollinator of our food crops, but we also have 30 species of bumblebees, we have carpenter bees, we have 3,000 species of native bees that are also important in pollinating our gardens and our food supply. Through pollination of our food crops, they provide 1/3 of our human diet. One bite out of 3 that goes in our mouth, we can thank the bees for providing. Bees are gentle creatures. The honeybee is our major pollinator. It is a stinging insect, and it will sting to defend its nest, which is a beehive. When the bees are out visiting gardens, though, they are not interested in stinging people, and they're very gentle. It's safe to walk around them and have them in your gardens. There are a few families of plants that are particularly attractive to the bees and the native pollinators because they provide the food in the way of nectar and pollen. Some of these families include the composite family, which is the sunflower family, the mustard family, the mint family, the legumes and rose families also are very attractive to the bees. The pollinator gardens can be any kind of garden. They can be a flower garden, a vegetable garden, your kitchen herb garden. The only difference is that we plant any plants that we want, but we try to be very prudent in our use of pesticides so that we don't kill the important beneficial insects. Bees and all of the insects do need water. Honeybees in particular take in lots of water into the hive for their personal metabolism, plus for cooling the hive. We need to provide water for all of the pollinators in our pollinator gardens. This can be a shallow bowl with some rocks in it to provide a place for the insects to climb on. It can be a waterfall, anything that a person would like to have in their garden. I'm in Alan's vegetable garden. He's planted vegetables and mixed in amongst them companion plantings of marigolds to repel the unwanted insects, and here's some celosia to attract native pollinators and bees and other beneficial insects. Having a variety of different plantings brings about a diversity of pollinators. We're seeing bees, we're seeing honeybees, we're seeing lots of bumblebees today, and many species of butterflies. Because the honeybee exhibits flower constancy and continues to go from flower to flower of the same species, it makes it the most effective pollinator of our food crops. By providing pollinator gardens, we are assisting our bees and our native pollinators in providing for our food. We're an inherent, integral part of our own food supply, as the bees are.
Look at all you little guys. Hey, the next time you're considering dealing with a pest problem in your garden, why not enlist some of the little guys? Look at these ladybugs. They're great for taking care of aphids and other insects. You know, whether it's increasing pollination, dealing with pests, or even improving your soil, some of these underestimated beneficial insects and microbes can do so much to improve your garden in a natural way. And frankly, it's just a lot of fun. Until next time, I'm Alan Smith. All right, go get them, guys. What a platoon of ladybugs.